The beginning of 2026 has marked a pivotal moment in the maritime security landscape of the Indo-Pacific, characterized by a sophisticated technological arms race that transcends the mere accumulation of naval tonnage. While global attention remains fixated on the visible prestige of massive aircraft carriers, a more subtle and perhaps more consequential shift is occurring beneath the waves. Japan's record-breaking defense budget for the current fiscal year, totaling approximately 58 billion United States dollars, underscores a strategic pivot toward active defense. At the center of this transformation is the Taigei-Class submarine, a vessel that serves as the primary counterbalance to the rapid expansion of the People's Liberation Army Navy. While China's third aircraft carrier, the Fujian, represents the pinnacle of its surface power with its electromagnetic catapult systems, military analysts increasingly suggest that the true deterrent in the East China Sea is not found on the flight deck of a carrier, but in the near-silent propulsion systems of Japan's latest underwater hunters. The strategic leverage used to justify this massive naval investment is the undeniable growth of the Chinese fleet. By early 2026, the People's Liberation Army Navy has achieved a level of operational maturity that allows for frequent incursions beyond the first island chain. The Fujian aircraft carrier, along with an expanding fleet of Type 055 Renhai-class destroyers, provides Beijing with a formidable tool for power projection. However, the sheer size of these surface assets creates a paradox of vulnerability. A carrier strike group, despite its immense firepower, remains a concentrated target that relies heavily on its ability to detect and neutralize threats before they enter striking range. In the confined and acoustically complex waters of the East China Sea and the Miyako Strait, this task becomes exponentially more difficult when facing an adversary designed specifically to exploit these geographic constraints. The Taigei-Class, which translates to Great Whale, represents the technological apex of conventional submarine design. As of January 2026, the commissioning of the fifth vessel in the class, the JS Taige, has solidified Japan's lead in a critical area of underwater warfare, in a lithium-ion battery technology. Unlike the majority of the world's conventional submarines, which rely on a combination of lead-acid batteries and Stirling cycle air-independent propulsion systems, the Taige-Class has abandoned the latter entirely. This decision was driven by a requirement for sustained high-speed underwater endurance and absolute acoustic discretion. Lithium-ion batteries provide the Taige-Class with the ability to remain submerged for extended periods, while maintaining the capacity for bursts of high speed that lead-acid systems cannot match. Furthermore, the absence of the moving parts associated with traditional air-independent propulsion systems reduces the submarine's acoustic signature to levels that approach the ambient noise of the ocean itself. From a technical perspective, the advantage of the Taige-Class over the nuclear-powered submarines operated by the People's Liberation Army Navy is found in the fundamental physics of sound. While nuclear submarines possess theoretically infinite range and high sustained speeds, they are hindered by the constant need for reactor cooling pumps, which generate a persistent mechanical hum. In the shallow, cluttered environments of the first island chain, a stationary or slow-moving Taige-Class submarine utilizing its ZQQ-8 fiber optic sonar system is virtually undetectable to current Chinese anti-submarine warfare sensors. This creates an asymmetrical advantage where a relatively low-cost Japanese asset valued at approximately 600 million United States dollars per unit can effectively hold at risk a Chinese carrier strike group worth tens of billions of United States dollars. The tactical lethality of these vessels is further enhanced by the integration of the Type 18 heavyweight torpedo. Developed to replace the older Type 89, the Type 18 features an advanced acoustic imaging seeker and improved signal processing capabilities designed to distinguish between actual hulls and the increasingly sophisticated decoys deployed by modern Chinese warships. In any potential escalation within the Taiwan Strait or the Senkaku Islands, these submarines would act as silent sentinels, positioned at critical maritime choke points. Their mission is not to engage in traditional fleet battles, but to serve as a persistent, invisible threat that forces an adversary to commit disproportionate resources to anti-submarine protection, thereby slowing their operational tempo and neutralizing their numerical advantage on the surface. Beyond the technical specifications, the development of the Taigei-Class is a reflection of Japan's broader fortress island strategy. With the allocation of hundreds of billions of Japanese yen toward the improvement of the southwestern island chain's defenses, the Maritime Self-Defense Force is essentially creating an anti-access area denial bubble of its own. In this context, the submarine fleet acts as the mobile component of a multi-layered defense network that includes land-based anti-ship missiles and unmanned underwater vehicles. By 2026, the synergy between the Taigei-Class and Japan's expanding fleet of Kawasaki P-1 maritime patrol aircraft has created one of the most sophisticated anti-submarine and anti-surface networks in the world. This network is designed to ensure that any attempt to move large surface formations through the waters surrounding Japan would be met with overwhelming and often invisible resistance. The psychological impact of the Taigei-Class on regional naval planning cannot be overstated. For the People's Liberation Army Navy, the presence of an undetectable interceptor at the gateway to the Pacific Ocean complicates every aspect of maritime strategy. It forces a defensive posture on a fleet that is otherwise designed for offensive projection. This strategic friction is exactly what the Japanese Ministry of Defense intends to cultivate. By investing in high-end niche capabilities that exploit the specific weaknesses of larger fleets, Japan maintains a credible deterrent without the need to match its neighbor ship for ship. The objective is to create a state of permanent uncertainty for any surface commander operating within the first island chain. In conclusion, the maritime balance of power in 2026 is defined less by the number of hulls and more by the sophistication of the technologies hidden beneath the surface. The Taigei-Class submarine stands as a testament to Japan's ability to innovate within the boundaries of its unique security requirements. While aircraft carriers like the Fujian serve as potent symbols of national ambition and visible strength, the silent, lithium-ion-powered great whales of the Maritime Self-Defense Force represent the cold reality of modern naval attrition. As Japan continues to increase its defense spending to unprecedented levels, the focus remains clear: maintaining a technological edge that renders numerical superiority irrelevant. The Taigei-Class is not merely a submarine, it is a specialized instrument of regional stability, ensuring that the cost of aggression in the Indo-Pacific remains prohibitively high. Through the lens of objective military analysis, it is evident that the most significant threat to the ambitions of a rising naval superpower is the one that cannot be seen, cannot be heard, and cannot be easily countered.